Hey folks, it's Tommy Frugal Prepper. I'm going to do a video about stupid internet gun people. People who want to call you like fat and slow and lethargic and blah blah blah, and you can't shoot, and what are you carrying that little tiny gun for? It ain't gonna stop nothing anyway. You might as well get somebody else to protect you, blah blah blah. And then those comments roll in. I have a really good set of keywords to look for to block messages on my channel. A lot of that stuff gets banned before it ever shows up, before you ever see it. I could have 1,000 comments on videos that get 20, right? Because so much of that stuff gets blocked. Because I don't want that kind of negativity on my channel. Um, there's a lot of gun owners out there, and a very, very minute fraction of a percent of them actually get professional training. I used to be one of them, and I got some training, and it's made a huge difference in the way I shoot, in the way I approach things. And I'm going to keep getting more training. Training is important. Training is so important. Don't ever think you've been shooting so long that you don't need training. You need training. Straight, plain and simple, right? There's just things that you're not thinking about that people who train people to fight with a gun all day long can teach you. uh, that you just don't think of, or that you're doing wrong, but you've been doing it wrong for so long that it seems right to you, and you don't see it, but they see it when they look at you, right? And you have to relearn those things and re-practice them and rebuild the muscle memory to do them correctly. The sooner you get training after you start shooting, the better you're off your feet, because you're not going to have years of bad habits built up that you have to break and overcome. People who tear you down, who attack you because of the size of your gun, or the type of your gun, the brand of your gun, or whatever, right? Those people aren't people who trained. Those people aren't people who are good shooters. They might be able to stick it out there and put the shot right in the middle of the X, but they don't realize that when you're fighting for your life, you don't have to aim for the X, right? You have to be fast, and they might be really fast, but they might not know when to slow down so that they can hit their target, right? Those people haven't run those drills and done the training, because if they had, they'd be excellent shooters, and they wouldn't have negative things to say to other people. I mean, they might offer constructive criticism. They might say like, "Hey, you're holding that gun all wrong. Let me show you. Let me tell you." But they won't be like, "Oh, you're just stupid and slow, and you carry a little gun, and that gun ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. Might as well not even carry a gun. Might as well pay somebody to protect you, because you're not gonna be able to defend yourself." That's just stupidity. Those are just keyboard warriors living in their mom's basement, typing a bunch of stuff, right? Don't listen to them. Just block all that stuff out. You go get training, you learn what you need to practice, and you focus on practicing it and getting better. Training's about you, not about what everyone else thinks about you. Don't be discouraged. Doesn't matter if you carry a Glock or a Taurus. It doesn't matter if you carry a 380 or a 44 Magnum. All that is your personal preference, how well you can shoot the gun, how fast you can make follow-up shots with it, how comfortable it is for you to carry so that you'll carry it every day. Right? That's why I like the Glock 42. It's small enough to conceal easy, big enough to shoot it well enough, and it doesn't weigh a lot, so it doesn't feel like I'm carrying around a brick after all day long, you know. But somebody else might be able to step that up to a Glock 17 and be okay with it. That's all just a matter of preference, and it's also a matter of how much discomfort are they willing to live with day to day for the amount of protection that they have, right? Everybody has to bring their own thing to the table. I was in a training class. Uh, there's a couple women in it, and the women, I mean, they weren't doing as well as the men. They were a little slower, right? A little slower making the follow up shots because they're carrying big guns, you know. And like by big, I mean high recoiling guns. And I mean, I could handle a gun like that, but these were little tiny women, like little women, you know, and they're doing pretty good. I think for considering the amount of recoil they're having to manage, and they're doing pretty darn good. And you know, some of the other guys are coming up to me in the background, like snickering, like, "Ah, I should be dead already." Hey, whoa. And I'm just like, why? I just didn't participate in that. I was just like, mm-hmm. And who do you think told that woman to get that big gun with that much recoil? A man. You know, they are not as strong as we are, and they're out there giving it their all and trying and training and practicing, and they are going to get nothing but better, right? And they might eventually learn that they have to step it down a little in caliber to really be able to shoot well and make those follow up shots. But they might get to where they can handle that recoil and get the shots back on target faster too. They are training and giving it their all. Like, you know, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You know, I'm kind of like, wow, she's doing pretty good, you know, and I don't know. But really good gun people, really good train people who do training, people who can really shoot, they're not like that, right? They're people that will always encourage. So seek people who encourage you to increase your skills, who offer constructive feedback if they see something, but they're not just being belligerent, right? And tune the belligerent people out of your life. Um, and just train and get better. That's all you can do, right? There's so many people that have guns that are on the internet that are talking all the time a bunch of crap about a bunch of crap that they know nothing about because they haven't ever really gone out and gone through, you know, 400 or 500 rounds in a training session, right? Like training, like shooting from cover, running from cover to cover, reloads, one-handed reloads, putting on a tourniquet, and then running the rest of the uh, uh, drill with your offhand, including reloads and malfunction clearing. They haven't ever done those things, and they don't do them on a regular basis. And what do they know? They know what they've watched in other YouTube videos. The other thing is like gun review videos. Like, why does everybody like go to the gun store and be like, "Oh, I want that. I bought it." Huh? Let's go see what kind of videos there are about it to see if I made a good purchase or not. Like, oh, I usually really think about it and do a lot of research before I buy a gun. Unless it's a Glock, then you know it's a good gun. But you know, I usually try to know what I'm buying and know what I'm after, and I'm not out there like, you know, a lot of people are like, well, what do you think about this gun? And that's just them trying to validate a purchase that they already made. uh, you know, rather than doing some real research, finding somebody that has one, finding a running a range rental counter, shooting it, and really investing the time to shoot a lot of different guns to find the one that's perfect for you, right? And I've gone through a lot of guns. I used to do the same thing, right? And now, you know, I don't. And I can't say that my Glock 42 is going to be the last gun I'll ever carry. I might change that up again. But right now, that Glock 42 seems to be working pretty darn good for me. So I'm going to stick with it. But Find somebody that has a lot of guns and let them bring their handguns to the range with you and shoot them. Find somebody that has a range rental counter where you can rent multiple guns in the same session. So, like, say you get an hour of range time and you rent a training gun, they'll let you trade that gun back in and get a different training gun or different rental gun. And they'll let you trade that back in and get different rental guns so you can shoot 4 or 5 of them in a 1 hour session and see which ones you like. I was considering the purchase of a Smith & Wesson bodyguard until I shot one. And I was like, I can't hit crap with this thing, right? The Ruger LCP Max, they didn't have any to rent. I bought it, and now I regret it. I can't shoot that thing. I mean, it's better now that I changed the front sight, but I still can't shoot that thing. Yeah, I just can't shoot it. So you need to get some of your own guns and spend some time renting some guns before you buy a gun, I should say. Anyway, don't listen to the stupid internet gun people. And don't go into information overload. Just get out and shoot some guns and find one that you like. Then go get some training. Stop wasting money on ammunition, just going to the range and plinking at static targets. Spend that money on training. Train it. Use some of your ammunition stockpile to go do some training. I think that the James Yeager's place, whatever it's called, I would love to go there and take a training class one of these days. I just don't have the money and I don't have the time to go to Tennessee, but I am hoping to do that in the next year or two. But there are a lot of good training places around me. I found a lot of good instructors, and I'm going to keep training. Just because I can't get to Camden, Tennessee to take their class doesn't mean that I just have to put it off. If you go out and look, just Google it. There are training classes around you. So that's all I got. All I got. I'll talk to y'all later. It's Tom, your frugal prepper.